Okay, so this is our first demo session on the Linux administration course. Okay, so probably we will see more about Linux in next couple of days. It will be like 2 to 3 demo sessions before we enter into our regular classes. Okay, and whatever we will discuss in this demo sessions, it will be all about your, course content only. Okay, so regular classes are important for sure, as well as the demo sessions are equally important. Okay, so there are certain things what we discuss in our demo sessions, it will be useful for you in all the regular classes. Fine. Now, before we see what we are going to learn or what is Linux and all those things, let us address some very basic questions about the Linux server administration. Let me just go through this demo. Okay, friends. So see here, there is some introduction here. This is about me. My name is Shakeel Aman here. I have, 14 plus years of experience in this IT industry, and I have done many things in this 14 years. Like I have started my career as a Windows and a network administrator, and then slowly I have moved into the Linux administration, virtualization, security, and as of now, I am related to on the cloud technology. I'm working on cloud technology. So this is my experience. Let me just highlight this once. Fine. So this is the experience I have in last 13, 14, 15 years. Okay, fine. Now, coming to this particular course, there is some slight change in this package actually. Diwali is on the cards, like within like 1 week or 10 days, there is a Diwali festival, right? So we have some offer here. If you want to go with these courses individually, let's say Linux administration is for 5,000, AWS is for 5,000, there is Amazon Web Services. And with this, you'll be getting this Windows Server Administration free recorded session. So overall, the course will be like 15 to like 10 to like 15,000 Indian rupees. But as of now, only for this Diwali, this complete package, Linux and AWS with Windows Server free recorded sessions, we are offering this for only 6,999 Indian rupees. This is a package only applicable for this course or for this batch and up to only Diwali. Okay, so this is one thing you can consider before your after you complete your demo session. Okay. Anyhow, so this is a package, and this is a package for Linux administration as well as Windows administration with Amazon Web Services also. So Linux administration, like we have started today at 7 a.m. and AWS will be starting for like 3 days from Thursday, 24th October. From Thursday, we'll be starting our Amazon Web Services at 9 a.m. So parallelly, you can come for these 2 classes, and within next 2 months, you can finish both the courses, AWS as well as Linux. Fine. Now, let us address some very basic questions here about Linux administration. Now, first of all, what are the pre-requirements for Linux servers? The answer is there are no pre-requirements for Linux server actually. Any person can learn this Linux course. If you know how to use a computer, you're 100% eligible to learn this Linux course. If you know how to use the internet, you're 100% eligible for this Linux course. There are no pre-requirements. It's not like, okay, before you learn, you should go and learn something. See, normally people feel like Linux is a command line interface, right? We do configurations by using commands and all those things. So normally people feel like we need to have some programming languages like C, C++, Java, whatever. No, my friend, absolutely no. If you have zero knowledge of programming language, if you have zero knowledge of any technical stuff, still you are 100% eligible to learn Linux. Okay, so there are no proper requirements here. There are no pre-requirements here. Fine. Now, the next question is, who should learn Linux? Any person who is in this IT field. Any person in the sense, if you want to pursue a career in, let's say, the server administration part, then you should start your career from Linux. Done. Or suppose if you're a programmer or a developer, you should again know the Linux administration. Or let's say you're planning to pursue your career in cloud administration, DevOps administration, or let's say cyber security, ethical hacking, Whatever things you're planning to do, my friend, you still again need to know the Linux administration part. So any person who is related with this particular jobs or with this particular fields, or any person who is interested in making a career in any one of this field, they should learn this Linux administration for sure. I'm not saying only the Linux administrators should learn this, or people who are interested in the Linux administration should learn this. I'm saying developers, programmers, you know, uh, cloud administrators, security administrators, network administrators, okay, ethical hackers, cyber security people, everyone should know this Linux server administration. This is one of the most important thing you have to mention on your resume. Got it? Now, the next question here is where we can get a job. Okay, we have done our Linux administration. So where we can apply for the job? See, once you finish your Linux administration, my friend, you can apply for a job in a company where there are servers, where the company is running their business on the internet, where we have some data, where the company is connected to cloud, in a company where they need more security. Now, just tell me a company where all these things are not needed actually. Just tell me any business. So if you see today, the business is on internet, right? Any sort of business. Like for example, those matrimonial websites, shadi.com or whatever websites are there. People are even getting married through the internet. People can order on onions and potatoes over the internet. You can order a t-shirt or a mobile phone over the internet. So every business is literally there on the internet. So any company, my friend, where they are connected to the internet, you're 100% eligible to get a job in that company as a Linux server administrator. Now, what if in that company, if they are using Windows servers only? That is a possibility, right? There can be a company, let's say there are 100 servers and all the 100 servers are running on the Windows Server operating system. But my friend, within next 2 months or 2.5 months, you will be learning the Linux part as well as the Windows part, right? I'll be sharing all the Windows Server Administrator related videos. So you're 100% eligible to get a job in 100% companies actually. Because at the end of the day, it can be either Linux servers or a Windows servers in a company. Or actually the best practice is you will get both the servers in a company. Companies will not rely on only one server operating system. Linux server has their own advantages, their own flavors. Windows servers have their own advantages. So if you mention Windows servers as well as Linux servers on your resume, obviously you're attracting more people there. Obviously you're attracting more companies. You're a likable person for a company, right? Because you know both the servers. That's the added advantage. Okay. So where to get a job? You can get a job in any company where these servers are there. It can be a banking sector, it can be a university, it can be some hospital, it can be some shopping mall, it can be any other MNC there. You're 100% eligible there. Got it? So no no pre-requirements are there for this Linux course. Hmm? Any person who is related with this IT field should learn this Linux course, and anywhere you can get a job where that company has connections with the internet, that company is connected to the internet. Fine. Now, the next thing we need to understand here is how to do practicals. Okay, we are learning the administration. When you go with this administration, it is basically it's a practical oriented course, right? Okay, some theory will be there and practical will be there. Let's say there is a concept called file permissions. One of the most important concept is file permissions. So when you learn this file permissions, first of all, we need to learn these things theoretically. Then what we need to do, we need to go with practicals. First, learn the file permissions theory and then go with the file permissions practicals. So I will show you the practicals, but the question here is how you can do practicals. Now, there are a couple of answers for this. One is you can take a server, you can take a Linux server directly from the cloud. But see, I'm not expecting any one of you to know cloud until and unless you started learning cloud or you already completed cloud. You don't know anything about cloud, right? So I will not go with the cloud server. I will not recommend you to go with the cloud server. But what I'll recommend you, I'll recommend you to create a server within your computer or within your laptop. Whichever laptop or whichever server you have in that particular machine, you can create a Linux server and you can do all the practicals there, my friend. So simple, right? You can simply do the practicals in that machine. Now, how to do the practicals? We have certain softwares available. They are specially designed for this purpose only. Let me just show you one. There is something called Oracle VirtualBox here. Okay, this is called a simulation software, or this is a software that is designed for practice. It is a virtual software. It's a virtualization technology. So let me just power on one of the machine here. So within one physical machine, you know what I can do? I can create multiple virtual machines or multiple virtual servers, and I can install my Linux server operating system there, and I can do the installation there. So once you finish the installation, obviously practicals will be more easier. See, within my physical machine, this is my Linux server operating system, friends. Done. What you see right now on your screen is your Linux server operating system. So practicals are not difficult, or I can say making our setup to do practicals is not difficult. So if you have your setup in your laptop or a desktop, you can do practicals at any time. The only condition here is to do practicals in your laptop or desktop, you need to have certain hardware configuration. Let us say you should have at least 6 GB RAM in your laptop or a desktop. If it is 8 GB or more than 8 GB, then it is great, but minimum 6 GB RAM should be there. But again, say if you have taken your laptop, if you purchase your laptop maybe in last 2, 3, 4 years, or let's say 5 years also, no way you will take a laptop with 4 GB or less than 4 GB RAM, right? It will be at least 8 GB or more than 8 GB. Okay, so I repeat, to do practicals, you just need to have a laptop or a desktop machine with at least 6 to 8 GB RAM. Then you can install your Linux server operating system in it, and you can do all the practicals. Got it? So how to install Oracle VirtualBox, how to install the Linux server operating system. First of all, how to download the Linux operating system, how to make that particular setup. It will take one class for us to see all these things. So we'll go through that session hopefully soon. But as of now, we have to practice. We have to execute the commands. We have to see the output. We have to do some configurations. Everything we have to do, because whatever configurations we do here, whatever commands we execute here, the same configuration and the same commands we do in a company. Okay. If I go to my server, Linux server, and if I say, let's say ls-l, I've just entered this command ls-l, and you can see the output here. There is some output. So when I say ls-l in this machine, as of now, maybe some thousands of administrators, thousands and thousands of administrators across the globe has already executed this command ls-l in last maybe let's say half an hour. This is such important command. So if you know how to execute this command, and if you know how to see the output, say right now you can see something called hyphen read write hyphen something root 1183 September 3. You can see something there, right? So if you know how to execute the command, and if you know how to see the output of that command, you're the Linux administrator. That's it. You should know why this particular command is there, and what output you can see by using that particular command. If you can do this much things, my friend, you are 100% ready to work in any company as a Linux administrator. But again, like I said, for this, you have to make a setup. You have to establish a setup. You have to create a setup. So that we will see in great details. Okay, fine. I hope everything is okay till now. Now let us address the next big question, and that is what to learn in Linux. What to learn as an administrator, or as a cyber security guy, or a cloud computing administrator, or a DevOps administrator, or a programmer, or whatever the field you're in, or whatever field you're selected for your career. What we need to learn in this particular Linux? Now, this is a question that I need to answer in great details. So for this, I have to go to my syllabus here. This is what we need to learn in Linux, my friend. First of all, we'll start with the overview of Linux, like what is a Unix operating system and what is the Linux operating system. I remember just now I showed you that virtual box there, or virtual machine. This is what we will do in our coming classes. But once we are done with this, then It is all about entering into the server. It is all about connecting to the server and executing the commands and learning the services and all those things. One of the most important thing you need to learn in Linux is actually the architecture of Linux, the design of Linux. So we are using Windows operating system from day one, right? Whether it is in the school or college, or whether it is on your laptop or desktops, we have Windows 8 or Windows 7 or Windows 10 or Windows 11. We are more than happy with that operating system because it is very easy operating system. But Linux is not a client operating system. Okay, although we have some client versions in Linux, but majorly, whenever you talk about the Linux operating system, you're talking about the server operating system. So server operating system design is there. A particular architecture is there. If you are able to understand this particular architecture, 30 to 40% work is done on the particular day itself. Okay, so I'll be spending at least, half an hour extra on this architecture of Linux when we go with this particular concept, because like I said, if you know that, your nearly half work is done. It is something like, moving within your Linux operating system, how to move from one place to another place. Like, if you go to a shopping mall, there will be like second floor, third floor, fourth floor, second floor for kids, third floor for like women, fourth floor for like, men. Like this, there will be some design there, right? There will be some architecture. Okay, at one place there will be jeans, at one place there will be like, cotton pants, and some other place there will be t-shirts and shirts. So this is the architecture. Normally people face difficulty in understanding the architecture of Linux. Okay, so we'll just try to learn this architecture of Linux in the simplest and the easiest form. If this is done, remaining all the things will be much more easier. Okay, and then we will see the commands here. Basic commands, like I said, in Linux, whatever we do, it is on the commands. By using the commands only, we will do each and everything. For example, in Windows, what you do, if you want to check the date, you have the option here, right? You can just click here, you can check the date and time and everything. But in Linux, if you want to check the date and everything, you just need to enter the command date. Let me just do one thing here. Okay, I hope you can see here. So let us say this is your command date, and what you see here, Thursday, 5th September 2024. Okay, this is not 5th September for sure. In the Linux machine, the date is set in this way. Anyhow, so you can see the date here, day, date, month, year, as well as time. So that is one of the difference. In Windows, we can check it by using command, by using the graphics, it will be clearly visible there. But in Linux, we just need to do this by using a command. Okay, so when I say basic commands, these basic commands will, uh, in a way, I can say these basic commands will add a lot of confidence in the person who is learning this Linux administration. Initially, 9 out of 10 people are not so comfortable in using commands. But friends, if you go and talk to any Linux administrator today, if you say, will you use a Linux server operating system if it is offered completely in graphics? He will say no. That person will say no, because the commands are so properly designed. Maybe initially 1 or 2 days you may feel difficulty, or you may feel like, okay, I'm entering so and so command, but very soon you will feel very comfortable in these commands. So you will not see any Linux administrator across the globe who will say like, I don't want to use commands, I want to go with the graphics. Never. So this basic commands we will learn. With these basic commands, we can go with all the advanced things. Okay. Then we will see like, how to create files and directories. Now you may be thinking why this option is here actually. Why we need to learn how to create a file? Because, in Windows, we are creating many different types of files here, right? Like for example, I can just right click here. I can go to new and I can say a, Word file or a PowerPoint presentation file or, text file, or I can go and create any file there. So in the Windows machines, we are creating files very easily, and we know how to create a file there. So why we need to learn how to create a file? Now listen carefully, my friend. First of all, we are creating a file by using commands there. It's not like, we are creating files by using some graphics. Commands are there to create a file. There are certain commands like cat command, touch command, vim command, nano command, and there are many more commands, but these are the major commands. Okay. Creating file is something like the backbone of your administration. In Linux, what we do, whenever you do any configuration or whenever you make any changes in your configuration, you just go and open a file and you just do the configuration inside that particular file. Majority of configurations in Linux are there in a file. So you should know how to create a file, you should know how to modify the file, and you should know how to edit that file. And obviously you should know how to delete and give permissions and all those things. So creating a file and directory is actually a folder here. So creating a file and directory, and then file and directory permissions. My friend, if you're facing only 5 questions in interview, and let's say after 5 questions you will get a job, obviously no one will face 5 questions only, maybe they will ask you more, but let's say in scenario where you are facing only 5 questions, out of 5 questions, one question will be definitely on this file permissions and directory permissions, or creating files and creating directory. This is such a big thing, my friend. So we'll say multiple examples, we'll say multiple scenarios, and then we will see how to create our files and how to give permissions on that particular file. I'll show you a very simple example here. Let me do one thing, please. I'll connect to this machine in a different way. There is something called putty here. Fine. Now I'm inside this machine. This is also your same server. Okay. If I say ls-l, can you see the same files you can see here? Anyhow, I'll show you one simple scenario here, or simple lab, like how things will work. If I say cat, then if I say, let's say file as file demo, I'm saying this is my first demo on Linux, RHEL 9.x version. I'll say Control C. You know what I did here? I have just created a file with the name file demo. Want to see whether the file is created or not? Just say ls. So when you say ls, it will show you all the files. Can you see this file here? File demo. Hmm? If you say ls-l file demo, it will simply show you the details of this particular file. Say, as of now, this file is created today. According to the server, the date is 5th September. How to change the date? The actual date is actually what? 21st of October, right? So how to change the date? I'll show that. But as of now, this is the date, and see the permissions here. Can you see some permissions? RW-R-R-R, some permissions. I'm not explaining what are these permissions. I just want to show you, like if I say chmod, and if I say, let's say 760, and if I say file demo here, I have changed the permissions. What permissions I have changed, I'm not explaining you, but I'll just show you what permissions I have changed there. See here, friends, you can see the difference clearly there. Before, the permissions were something like this: RW-R-R-R. But now what is the permission on the same file? RWX, RW, then hyphen. I have simply changed the permissions. But my friend, it will take at least one session for us to see what permissions we have changed. And permissions or security, whenever you hear this particular terminologies, permissions or security, just remember one thing: this will be the most important part for you in that particular, administration course. Okay, let me just change some more things here. I'll say chmod. Command is chmod, that's it. Then there is some value here, and then there is a file name, file demo. See the permissions now. This is actually a very scary permissions to see, because right now we have allowed everyone to access the file and do anything whatever they want. So they should not be the permissions in majority of cases, but just to show you how the permissions will change. First, it was something like this. Just a second, friends. Okay, so I hope it is much more easier for you to view. Okay, so see, first it was something like this, then we did something like this, and we have done something like this. So see what we did, we have created a file by using command, and we have, simply changed the permissions by using commands. Got it? So what is the file name? File name is file demo. How to open that file? Just say file demo. The file will be open. See, this is the file. How to edit that particular file? Just say vim file demo. Hmm? I can put something here. Now I can add something there. Like say India, Telangana, Hyderabad, Amirpet. So I just trying to make some changes here. I'll just say WQ and exclamation. That's it. Now see here, open cat. Can you see more information there? This is the first file, this much, and then you can see India, Telangana, Hyderabad, and a place called Amirpet. So see, this is your Linux operating system, my friend. This is the way you do, you learn the practicals, and this is the way you execute the commands in the Linux. So when I say cat file demo here, let's say only cat. When I say cat and when I say vi, you know, you may not finish your day in your company without using these two commands, vi or vim, or let's say cat. So as of now, the time is 7:37 a.m. Let's say last 30 minutes, maybe some millions of, let's say maybe some lakhs of administrators have already executed these commands in their Linux servers. Got it? So this is the way we work. So this is only about your file permissions and creating and deleting files. But we should know how to filter them also. We should know how to create and move also. Okay, we should know how to do editing also. Right now, I did editing by using this vi command. Okay, then there is something called group management and user management. We should know how to create users and we should know how to do all the activities. As of now, who is the user here? As of now, there is only one user, that is your root user. But maybe in a company, there will be user with the name Sachin, there will be user with the name Raja, there will be user with the name Durga, there will be user with the name Aman. There can be any user there, right? So what these users will do, they will connect. So when Sachin connects to the Linux server, it will not show here as root. It will show here as Sachin. Okay. When someone like, let's say Virat Kohli is connecting to the server, it will not show as the Sachin or root. It will show as Virat Kohli. So how many users can connect to the Linux server, what they can do, what permissions they will get, all these things we will see in this user and group management. Okay. Then there is something called disk management. Disk management means your storage, how to manage your hard disk on a server. This is what we will see. Then there is something called access control list. There is something called yum and dnf. We will see how we can install the applications and packages. Okay. Then there is something called backup and restore, how we can take backup of our data. And then in case if you lose your main data, how you can restore the data. Okay. Then there is something called process management. Process management is like what exactly is happening inside the Linux server, how we can minimize the processes, how we can, terminate the processes which are not needed or which are running unnecessarily. Like, in your mobile phone, you're running some applications. But if the applications you're not using, what you do, you just try to stop that particular application, right? So in this process management, you do the same thing. You just try to stop that particular package, or you just try to like install the process, and after installing the process, if you're not using that process, you just need to terminate that process. Okay, so this is what we will see. Okay, and then there is something called scheduling of jobs. Automation and scheduling of jobs, we can automatically schedule some jobs so that whenever someone is executing a particular command, a particular task will be automatically executed. So famously, we call it as cron jobs here. Okay, so we should know how to schedule the jobs, and we should know how to configure networking services in our server. Okay, besides this, there are some more services like file server, Samba server, DNS server, Apache server, network server, DHCP server. These are the things we will learn. So whatever things I have added here, friends, these are just the main topics. For example, if I go with Linux basic commands, there will be 40-50 basic commands you'll be learning there. So I cannot say like, okay, these are the commands we are learning. Then I just written the main topic like learning the basic commands. Okay. So when I say file and directory permissions, I cannot say like what permissions we'll be learning there. We'll be learning all the permissions that are related with files and directories. So overall, as a networking guy, a cyber security guy, ethical hacker, a cloud computing administrator, a DevOps administrator, a programmer, okay, or solely as a server administrator, the Linux server administrator, you should know this particular administration for sure. Without this, it's very difficult to learn any other technology. And without this, it is nearly impossible to get a job on any other technology like cloud or DevOps and all those things. People try to go and learn some basics. But you know, my friend, if you know the basics, a company will not a company will not be that much interested in a person who knows only basics. If I say like I know how to drive a car, but I cannot take the car in reverse. If I say like that, will I get a job as a driver somewhere? Of course, no. So I should know how to drive the car forward, how to drive the car in backwards, okay, how to cut the car. I should know all the things about that particular car, right? Here also same. Linux basics are not at all sufficient, my friend. I have seen many cases where people have done some other courses like cloud computing or ethical hacking or whatever with basic knowledge. But you know, when they started searching for jobs, they realized the mistake and they again did the Linux administration course within like month or 40 days. Then again, they went back to the searching of jobs and it was much more easier for them, at least to get the interview call. I'm not saying once you do the Linux administration, your job is ready. Your job will be there once you face your interview. And when you can face your interview, once you get a call from the company. And when you get a call from the company, once you add Linux administration on your resume. Got it? This is what the Linux administration is all about, my friend. So I'm still in this server. I'll just disconnect myself from this server. No issues. Anyhow, so these are some of the questions we were supposed to discuss about the Linux administration. I hope it is clear now. I hope you understood the importance of Linux. Okay, I hope you know what we are learning in this Linux. Okay, how to learn these practicals. Okay, and why it is so important for any administrator across the globe to learn the Linux. Done? So that's it for the day, friends. I'm here for like a couple of minutes. If you have any questions, doubts regarding this Linux administration course, feel free to raise your questions. I'll be addressing all your questions and probably we'll meet again tomorrow for demo number 2. And tomorrow we'll see a bit more details of Linux servers. Okay, so every day, you know, chat box will be open and every day, whenever you have any doubt, you can simply send the message in the chat box so that, you know, I can address your question there. I'm just sending a message in chat box. I just said India, so hopefully everyone can see that message. Okay. So before we stop or before I get any question, this is the offer we have only for Diwali, my friend. Okay, only for this batch, probably this offer is it. So Linux, we have started today at 7 a.m. and AWS will start after like, you know, uh, 3 days. That is on Thursday at 9 a.m. And for this, the package is only for 6,999, which has the Linux Server Administration part, Amazon Web Services, and the Windows Server Admin part. Okay, friends, so that's it for the day. I'm here for like 30 more seconds. Any questions we will see? Or else we can stop the session for today and we'll meet again tomorrow at same time. By using same link, you can connect to the session tomorrow also. And probably we'll go with a bit more details of Linux. We are simply preparing ourselves for our regular classes. So the next couple of classes, whatever we will discuss, this is all on our, you know, the administration and the basics and all these things. Okay, there is a question here like in Windows Server, what will we learn or what will, okay. So in the Windows administration, you will be learning about user management, group management. You'll be learning about the porting process. You'll be learning about the disk management. You'll be learning about the file permissions. Okay, you'll be learning about some basic commands there. Okay, you'll be learning about the installation of packages. You'll be learning about backup and restore. You'll be learning about process management. Okay, you'll be learning about, you know, some automation there. Okay, you'll learn about some networking concepts. You'll learn about DNS. Okay, maybe you're thinking, I'm inside this Linux server administration and I'm talking about Windows. Now, listen, my friend. Whatever you learn in Windows, the services will be same in Linux, and whatever you learn in Linux, the services will be same in Windows. Beside one thing, let me just go through this. This is the major difference between Windows and Linux. What is it? Active Directory Domain Services. Okay, so this is a major difference. Overall, if you know one server operating system, you got the other server operating system knowledge actually. But in case if you still want to go in more details, this is one major difference. With Active Directory Domain Services is one major difference. But see, can you see your user properties or how to create users? There is something called batch file, which is something like a, a automation file. Okay, and then we have some policies here, account policies, password policies, all these things. Okay, these are like permissions. Okay, then there is something called group policy, one of the most important concept. Okay, so this is what we have here. And then we will see some other things like how to share files and folders, how to provide access to files and folders, how to provide security on these files and folders. So literally, when you talk about server administration, my friend, server administration will be majorly same either on Windows or Linux. But again, Windows has its own advantages, Linux has its own advantages. So when you compare Windows and Linux, the most important difference you need to remember is in Windows Server Administration, we have this Active Directory Domain Services option. So if you can concentrate only on one particular service, Active Directory, which has many other services. I'm not saying like it will be finished in 1 hour or 1 day. Active Directory will take around 15 to 18 hours. That is the most important part of Windows Server, or approximately let's say 20 hours. So if you can learn only one thing, you're more than eligible to get a job in a company on Windows administration. So always it will be great if you add Windows servers as well as Linux servers on your resume. Got it? That will be a great advantage. You will not see a very famous chef who knows how to cook only vegetarian foods. The person who can cook vegetarian foods, maybe he's not eating non-veg, but still he should know how to cook the non-veg. That's the market demand actually, right? So the same thing. If you know Linux administration, you'll be pursuing your career on Linux administration, but at least till the time you get a job, you should know the Windows administration, because when you go to cloud or DevOps or cyber security, there is no choice. There you cannot say like, okay, I know only Linux servers, so I will protect only Linux servers. No, my friend, that choice or that option will not be available there. So if you go with the latest technologies like cloud and DevOps and cyber security, there is absolutely no choice. You have to know both the things. So before you enter those technologies, or before you start, going for the details of those technologies, better go and learn these two servers. So once you finish Linux administrations in classroom sessions, it will not be difficult for you to face. It will not be difficult for you to learn the Windows, my friend. And one more thing, I will be sharing my mail ID as well as my mobile phone number. So whenever you have any doubt, just ping me. I'll come to your question at the earliest. It's not like between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. Indian Standard Time, you can interact with me or you can clear your doubts. No, at any time, ping me. I'll come to your question as early as possible. Maybe I'm working, or maybe I'm in classroom, or maybe I'm sleeping. And these are the only times when I'm not available on WhatsApp, but remaining all the times, I'll be available. So when you go with this concept, for example, let us say group policy, you will get all the recorded sessions and you'll get each and everything there. But sometimes you may face a bit difficulty there. Small thing you're not able to understand. Just ping me. You'll get the answer. That will be more than enough for you to understand that concept. Got it, friends? So this is the way we will manage our classes. We'll go through our classes and hopefully you'll get all the support from my side. Okay, recorded classes will be shared by the management. They have the access to the recorded classes, but any practicals, if you're stuck anywhere, I'll be taking control of that particular thing. Okay, so this is the best time in a way. You can complete both the courses similarly. Parallel, you can attend both the classes, and within next couple of months, probably you will be done with your Linux administration, AWS, as well as networking. So this is still October, November, December. So by December end, or let's say 2025 January, you can start searching for your jobs. You can apply for your jobs. Okay, so as of now, you know this, right? Things are not so good in market, especially job and all those things. But very soon things are changing. Things will change for sure. We are in a way at the end of the recession and all those things. So probably you'll get more job opportunities in future. So whatever the recession it may be, my friend, Linux servers and AWS servers will not be dried out. These two technologies will be in demand forever. Linux servers are there for last 30 years. People have not stopped learning Linux. Actually, it became more important today to learn Linux maybe like 20 years before. So Linux servers will not go anywhere. Maybe our grandchildren's anyway, after like say 20, 30, 40 years, whatever, our grandchildren's will also learn this Linux servers. This is the reality of Linux. Okay. And in AWS or in cloud, the only thing that can happen to cloud is it will simply grow. There is no looking back in cloud also. So I'm not going anything about cloud today. We'll go through this particular topic maybe when we come on Thursday at 9 a.m. But as of now, this is what it is, my friend. Done. 30 more seconds and then we can stop the session. If any question, we will see, or else we'll stop here.
Yeah, I have a question. Like, our Windows Server, this is a free part, right? Windows Server admin part.
Yeah, but it is a free part, Sachin, when people come for the package. I'm very sorry to say, but this is the, protocol.
Yeah, actually, I'm interested for the first one,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, AWS. I'm looking for Linux admin, and this window you suggested me, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is required for understanding better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Linux and Windows Server. So I was, and one more thing, like Windows Server will be like it will be based on like tool and the wizard only, right? This Windows Server parts.
Yeah. Same thing. You'll be learning on the same VMware tool or Oracle Virtual Box. There also, I'll show you how to download the Windows Server operating system and how to do the installation. Installation is basic thing. We have to learn this. Okay, so I'll show that, and then you can do all the
Like no,
practicals.
like normal, we are installing operating system like that, right?
Exactly. It will be same like installing the operating system, but the problem is, I guess you know a basics of hardware. So if you know some basics of hardware, you know how to do the installation. But here the difference is we are installing that in a virtual machine. So what is virtual machine, that I need to explain you in great details, but this is called virtual machine. The only difference here is we need to create a virtual machine and install the operating system inside the virtual machine. Once you do that, remaining everything will remain same, whether it is your virtual machine or a physical machine, your practical, your lab server or a company server, wherever it is, everything will be same. The only difference is how we are preparing our setup. That is the only thing you need to understand. And it may take 20 to 30 minutes for you to understand that actually. That's it.
No, so like virtual machine for the Linux admin and the virtual machine for the Windows Server, both will be different, or inside the same virtual machine we can do
No,
both.
no, both will be different. You have to create two machines, one for Linux server, one for Windows server.
The virtual machine also will be different, right?
Yeah, it will be different. It will be different. Like, see, this is, for example, let's say this is your Windows machine for a Linux machine, for example. So this will be like your Windows machine. That's it. So when you do the practicals of Windows, power on this machine. And if your practicals are done, shut down the machine. And when you want to do the practicals of Linux, power on this machine. And once the practicals are over, shut down the machine. Simple, right?
Okay, yeah, got it.
Okay.
Yeah, thank
Yeah, that's it, my friend. That's it for the day. And let's see, we'll meet again tomorrow at same time, 7 a.m. India Standard Time with more details of our Linux. And yeah, let's see how it goes. Thanks a lot, friends. Bye. Take care.